Well, we just received some details from the Santa Ana Police Department, which is where we are live this afternoon, Marla and Christine. As you mentioned, 3 wounded, 2 dead in what authorities have described as a reign of terror that began early in the morning on July 11th. Let's take you to some of that video from one of the scenes. As you see, one of the wounded who fortunately survived being loaded into an ambulance. This was in La Habra, one of the final robberies that morning. The two victims have been identified as Matthew Rule, who was a customer just trying to help, apparently, 24 years old. He was killed in Santa Ana at a 7-Eleven outside it, I'm told. And then the second fatality, a 40-year-old clerk at the Brea 7-Eleven by the name of Matthew Hirsch. Now, this is the suspect that has been the focus of so much attention. One of 2 arrested today, believed to be Malik Patt, 20 years old, arrested along with an alleged accomplice in Los Angeles this afternoon. Let's listen to some of what authorities told us.
This was a reign of terror. To be thinking that you go to a convenience store or a donut shop or a sandwich shop and to get shot in the face.
In the shadow of this loss and of this grief, we do want to applaud the efforts of everybody here and those countless names of tireless work that was given to us by men and women who worked very hard on this case.
The identification and apprehension of these suspects would have not been possible without the cooperation of the multi-team comprised of crime analysts and investigators working on this case. And truly, their tireless efforts led to this successful outcome, and they deserve our sincere gratitude.
The 2 suspects under arrest, as I mentioned, Malik Patt, 20 years old, Jason Payne, 44 years old. Apparently they were neighbors on West 23rd Street in Los Angeles. Now, Marla and Christine, one of the key questions, of course, what led authorities to identify these 2? Not surprisingly, they don't want to divulge too many of their investigative techniques, but they say that technology, whether it was cell phone tracing, debit card tracing, an electronic footprint was key, possibly even vehicle descriptions. Now, they also have linked one homicide in the San Fernando Valley that the LAPD is investigating to these suspects, and there's a possibility of several more. So they're painting a picture of just this widespread reign of terror that went on for a period of time from at least July 9th through July 11th. Now, remember, the 7-Eleven Corporation has put up a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrests and convictions in this case. We asked authorities about that, and they said, again, not surprising, it's way too early in all of this to determine who, if anyone, would even be eligible for that reward. Marla, Christine?
All right, Phil, thanks. We were wondering the connection between the 2. So the 20-year-old is the prime suspect. The 44-year-old neighbor is accused of assisting.